Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 14th. We're just going to jump right in here, Scorpio. And in your current general energies, you have this first quarter moon in Leo. It says, be humble. And you have this full moon in Sagittarius. It says, see the bigger picture. It's funny that I just said, be the bigger picture. So maybe some of you need to be just see yourself as if you are whatever your big picture is. I don't think that humble card is really talking about being humble. I think that you are feeling humbled by maybe some sort of big goal, wish, or dream that you have. I don't know. It's kind of like a weird message that I'm getting, but even you have the world right here. So, there could be some major accomplishments coming in for you here. You also have this be here and now card. So there is a lot of stuff here about maybe being present or kind of like staying in the moment. Just in general, I feel that could be good for you. And let's see what is going on for you, Scorpio. Multiple people, again, have had the tower. Like I said, the tower is going to keep coming up for the next, several years. It's not something that I feel really surprises me. So, I feel like you need to be the bigger picture. That's really what I'm getting. It's sometimes I think we just have to kind of act as if we already have or already are the thing that we want to be. And I feel like that's what that be the bigger picture kind of thing is saying. It's also kind of interesting because I think there could be a lot of humbling moments that are coming in for you this week. And I'm not saying you're not humble, but what I am saying is that there could be moments where you're like, wow, this was a lot harder than I thought, or, whatever. People could be really nice to you as well. That can be humbling, right? Or people can say how much they appreciate you. That can be humbling. I think there are just a lot of these things popping into my head. So a lot of humbling moments coming in for you in general. Every single water sign has had the Two of Wands. I've been saying to you water signs that I really feel it's time to kind of get out into the world, which we see right here. He has the whole world in his hands, but the story of the Two of Wands is that he rushed to complete his journey. He's standing at the top of a castle and he basically experienced everything. Well, he thinks he has experienced everything that there is to experience, but he doesn't see that he has the whole world in his hands. There's so much more for him to experience. There's so much more that he could be doing in the world, but he has to do it. He just has to kind of get moving, and he has to get out into the world. He also has to realize that something is complete. And I kind of get that energy here for you with the tower. Number one, I feel like we could be seeing a bunch of tower moments in the world. I mean, it's just going to start accelerating. And I don't think it's a bad thing, by the way, either. I think it's going to lead to positive change for all of us. The tower falls for a reason. It falls because things have been the same for too long. So it basically says that people have been ignoring reality, and that's why these towers collapse. But for you, I also feel like there could just be some little surprises and little nudges that push you in the direction of the world, which is what I feel is going on here. You also have the Page of Pentacles. There could be important communication coming in for you here. It could be any type of communication. What I would say is going like this, Page of Pentacles, Seven of Cups to the Knight of Swords. I wouldn't rush or jump to any conclusions with communication, because Seven of Cups, Knight of Swords, not very clear, and maybe you don't have all the answers or you don't see anything clearly. It's kind of like you're not seeing things clearly right away. So no rushing to judgment if you get communication. This could be positive or negative. Take how it resonates. But I get the feeling that, I would get a second opinion, because Knight of Swords is my second opinion card. If you get information that you owe a bunch of money to something or whatever, right? I would also think about finding an expert if that happens to you as well. And again, this could be good things as well, where it's maybe you hear that you're about to get a raise, but be humble, right? Don't go rubbing it in people's faces. Keep it to yourself is what I feel here. I get a lot on that Page of Pentacles. So, there's a lot of rushing communication, and I think your job is to slow it down, right? And not jump to conclusions, not assume anything. Seven of Cups, the Knight of Swords, don't assume. And just kind of allow things to play out. I feel like if you're in that calm, cool, collected energy, you're going to have a very successful week. With the Page of Pentacles, you have this resistance card here. Yeah, see, there's some sort of resistance from this communication that could be coming in for some of you. So if you receive some sort of communication, again, this is Mercury and Taurus. Communication, there's a bird right here. There is most definitely communication coming in for all of you. It could be any type of communication. It's going to be different for all of you. But what I would say is no jumping to conclusions. Allow things to kind of like settle before you make your move is what I would say. I would also say like if especially if someone's trying to like bully you into something or trying to rush you, I'd be like, no, maybe that's the answer. It's like sometimes I think, this could be anything. Maybe it's communication about you buying a car or buying something. That's also popping into my head. Maybe the salesman's like, if you don't buy it right now, then the price is gonna go up. Then I would just say no. That would be it. That would be my answer. With the Tower, you have the detachment card. See, I think it was Pisces have this card as well. I think that water signs are kind of like detaching from things that are very clearly too much the same. The tower has been, those people built the tower up around them so that, and they kind of don't see reality. So that detachment card, it's like he's almost in the sea, like at sea level. So I'm wondering if you have already experienced the tower in the recent past, and it's like you see things from level, if that makes sense. That's kind of weird, but that's what's popping into my head. And I think it's allowing you to see things very clearly in your life, which is probably a good thing. With the two wands, you have the rebellion card. I'm wondering what's going on, like in the world this week. Of course, we have an eclipse on election day. Again, not a political statement. I'm sure someone's going to take there. I'm just going to ban you, by the way, if you do that. So there you go. But what I would say is that, there could be some craziness. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow, the day that you're watching this, actually. So there could be something crazy going on in the world. Who knows? But what I would say here is that I feel like we need to also do things differently, all us water signs. Again, I think Cancer had this card as well. It's kind of like, tied to Uranus because this is Mars and Aquarius, but Aquarius, Uranus, right? We have all this Uranus energy right now. I feel things are very unpredictable, but people who are flexible, and I said this in the eclipse readings as well, people who are willing to kind of go against the grain or do things differently or come up with new ideas are going to be the people that are very successful, and that's what I feel like that is saying. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this rainbow waterfall. It says miracles. I like that. You have this bear spirit. It says healing. If you've been through any tower moments or anything, I definitely feel you could clearly be healing from those tower moments or healing from any issues that you've been going through. The miracles, I do feel like there are miracles that could be coming in for you, but I feel like there needs to be more. I feel like there needs to be more work as well. You have the Seven of Cups, the World, and the Six of Cups. The Seven of Cups could be like a miracle. Seven of Cups says you're spoiled for choice, but those choices exist in the clouds. So I feel you have to bring a miracle. It's almost like you're creating this miracle. And maybe that's what's unexpected, is that you have the power to create miracles in your own life, right? And this miracle could be anything. Could be overcoming an issue. Could be getting started on something because you go down to the Fool as well. So it could be like a miracle, new beginning that you've been hoping for. And I kind of feel that because you also have the World card. And the World is a card of completion. It's also a card of accomplishment. But it's also a card of having the power to create anything. This lady here, she's a sorceress. She has two wands in her hands. One wand is kind of like the magician's wand. The other wand is kind of like just action, creating things through action or your own actions. She's also a combination of like all energies that exist. She's like considered to be a fully integrated being. So I feel what could be a little bit unexpected, and again, I don't think there's anything totally unexpected coming in, but it's like you have the power to really create your own world, create your own destiny at this time, but I feel like you need to use it with that Seven of Cups. I would also use your Six of Cups. Six of Cups is childlike energy. It's being more playful with life, being more excited by new things, and asking a lot of questions as well. So I feel some of you could be doing that. I also feel that the miracle that could be coming in for you is a turnaround. The Six of Cups to me represents a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive from this card is some sort of turnaround, meaning that we've been bumping up against an obstacle, and then the obstacle gets removed from our life. I kind of feel you need to let things play out, though. Like I was saying with that Knight of Swords, it's almost if you try to resist something and try to push back against it, like it could be communication that's coming in, or like I said, this could be good. It's kind of weird that I am getting it as good news, but it's like sometimes I think we get good news and maybe we want to rush, and this is saying no, don't rush. Like sit with the energy and be patient. I feel is what this is saying. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Endurance card. It's like, who can wait longer? I feel that, especially if you're dealing with like a difficult person or some sort of challenge or negotiation, right? Doesn't even have to be a bad thing. I feel like endurance is your answer. It's like in a negotiation, especially for those of you that are buying something, I feel like if they're coming at you like hot and heavy and be like, you need to do this right now, I would just be like, no, and sit back and wait, because I think that you will win with this card. And that's all I would do, plain and simple. With the World card, you have the impulsiveness card. Again, do not be impulsive. I mean, the whole entire reading's been talking about this. I feel there's a lot of luck coming in for you, because if you see this here, there's a horseshoe at the top, and that's like a lucky horseshoe. But I feel if you are Knight of Swords, impulsive, and rushing, then you're going to make mistakes. So I feel like this is kind of saying that this week would be a good week to just be chill, to be relaxed, to just allow things to happen. I would find some sort of outlet for your energy if I were you here, Scorpio, like a creative project, something to work on, a puzzle. It could be anything. With the Six of Cups, you have the Lust card. I'm wondering, there could be a person coming in for you that you want to be all over. Let's put it that way, right? But I feel like this is saying, like, hold your horses, right? Don't get too excited. Or maybe the person needs to chill out. But it could be like a very lusty time for you. And you have that chameleon there. Again, I can't get away from the fact that I feel like something, it kind of this reading gives me the vibes that something needs more time to develop. It's like if we, didn't allow babies to live in our bodies for 9 months, they would come out and they wouldn't have arms and legs, for example, right? And that's like the feeling I get here, is that there's a baby, maybe not literally, inside of you. It could be like an idea, something that you want to work on. And I feel that you're very excited, which is good. I would channel that excitement, but I also feel like it needs more development time. It needs more kind of gestation time, Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Change in the Wind card. You also have this Here and Now card. Again, I feel like this Here and Now card is encouraging you to be present where you are right now, because there will be changes coming in the future, but it's almost like you're being prepared for something as well. This could be you that's going through a change, and the gestation time that I'm talking about could just be preparation. It's like the universe has to prepare you for some sort of big change before it happens, right? You have the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. It's like you have everything you need. Queen of Pentacles represents that. You also have the Fool. The Fool has a tiny little sack on his back, and that also kind of represents, again, he's going on this huge journey through the major arcana. He only needs that tiny little sack. So it says he is more than prepared. You are more than prepared for a journey that you are about to go on. I feel there's a lot of abundance and success coming in for you as well. That camera's going to drive me crazy today, but, I feel there's a lot of abundance and success. I also feel that this is asking you to tap into your resources. Like, I think, this is why I encourage people to like try different things all the time and to experiment, is because, let's say you want to start a business, but you think you need a certain amount of money to start that business. Like the astrology, the way that it is, we're probably not going to find the money. So we need to be resourceful. The universe right now, I think, is saying to people, no, you don't need the money. You need something else, like your brain, or you just need to get started with what you have now, and then the money will come. Like there's a certain element of trust in the astrology, I believe, personally. And I also believe that, we need to look for other ways of doing things as well. Could be like teaming up with other people to get something started if you don't have the money. It could be like being resourceful. Maybe you have things that you can sell, like in your attic or something like that, where you get the money to do something that you want. I'm getting like everything. Like some of you, maybe you want to move or travel. And again, I feel you have the resources, but it might not be the money. So I'd start, put your thinking cap on, like I said at the beginning of the reading, and start thinking of other ways. It's like things are about to become very clear to you in your life. You have the Queen of Swords here, and she has clouds only halfway up her body. It says that she sees things very clearly. She sees like the changes she needs to make. She sees the things that she needs to do in her life, and that's what makes her successful. I think the only problem is this Knight of Swords. This is like the one bugaboo in your reading. He's running back to the past. Again, I would get a second opinion. We already talked about all of that. The other thing I would say about him is that sometimes I think we can do something like start a business, get into a new relationship, and then we want to run back to like something from the past, right? We want to run away from something that we feel is almost like too good for us, right? And I feel like this is saying, don't do that. It reminds me of a TikTok I saw like a while ago, where some girl was like talking about, she's like, why did I, leave a great guy to go back to my ex who only got me a $5 gift card to Taco Bell or something like that. it's like that's Knight of Swords on the lowest vibration, right? Is that we run away from something that could be truly good for us, business, love, work, or otherwise, because we're afraid maybe of our own, our own strength. Maybe we're afraid of what we are truly capable of doing. And I feel like this is saying, no, keep going this way towards the future. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Appreciation card here. This is a card of abundance. You can see there's this cornucopia right here, and cornucopias represent abundance. So I feel there's a lot of abundance coming in. I would just appreciate every little part of you. And I feel this is really talking about yourself. I think that when we say to ourselves that, as Marissa Peer says, I am enough, right? When we truly believe we're enough, then we won't make those mistakes. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Companionship card. I like this. You have that lust card. I really don't like this lust card in your reading for some reason. It's like something needs to develop. Again, if you're finding love, I wouldn't like try to rush right to the lusty stuff, right? I would try to take your time. Maybe that's also a warning sign for you as well. It's like maybe when you meet a person, it's like if they're like too lusty, too quick, too soon, too fast. It's like I understand sometimes we get super attracted to a person right away, and as they say, shit happens, right? But maybe it's a warning sign. And again, I'm not telling you what to do here, but it's something I would look at because I feel it's almost like it could be very lusty, but if you allow it to develop, it could turn into a true companionship, like something that is very valuable with a person. It's weird because I don't see any other love in your reading other than this. So, those two cards, I should say, and the Six of Cups as well. Could be like a past life connection or something. And I feel like you have the chance to like get it right this time is what this is saying. Look at this, Queen. With Queen of Pentacles, you have this devotion card. Again, someone is clearly going to be devoted to you if you're looking for new love. I feel like you're very different. You see how there's like a sun and a moon here? It's kind of like an opposites attract type of deal here with this person. I feel like there's a ton of attraction, but you could be very different. Didn't I say this to you recently? It's almost, I'm pretty sure in one of your recent readings, I said something about, it's almost as if like maybe you meet a morning person, you're like a night person, sun, moon. Right? Maybe you just meet a person who lives life very differently than you do, but if it works, is what I always say. That Knight of Swords could also be saying, like, don't jump to conclusions. It's, as I always say, it's like sometimes I think we meet a person who we're attracted to, but they're not like our usual type. So we're like, no, probably not because they're not my usual type. But, to be quite honest, maybe your usual type sucks, right? I don't know. It's like, I think we all have stories in relationships where it's like maybe we date a person for like a year and then it always ends after a year. And it's like, to me, that's because we're picking the same type of person. And usually maybe there's a new type of person that's better. And again, maybe the issue here is that this person lives life at a certain level and you would have to match that energy, right? And you're wondering, can I put in the work? Can I do what I need to do? I don't know. It's going to be different for all of you. At the end here for messages from your future self, you have this horse card. It says freedom in action. You also have this dove. It says peace and serenity. I do feel like there's a certain element of peace coming into your life. You have the Six of Pentacles, which is pretty straightforward. Again, I said to someone else that there is this like, there's something that I would consider to be very straightforward energy coming in all the readings. And it's a Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles says you put energy into something, what do you get out of it, right? Six of Pentacles kind of equal give and take in certain ways. So I feel this is saying that's what it's talking about as far as peace is concerned. If you're meeting a person, I feel like the peace is that the fact that if you put energy in, they also match the energy, which would obviously make you feel very peaceful, or it could. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the Fool. There's a liar here, is what I feel. This Five of Pentacles is the liar. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. Again, I do feel like there is like a missing resource here, which we already talked about with the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel for some of you, this is saying, don't believe your own lies. And I'm not talking about like lies. I'm talking about maybe you're saying, I don't have the money to start this business. Maybe you don't need the money. That would be a lie, right? That you're telling to yourself. So I feel this is saying you need to examine these situations. It kind of giving me, I have like the King of Swords popping into my head as well. So if you feel like you don't have the resources to do something like move, travel, start a business, maybe you want to put a pool in your backyard, I don't know, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I feel like this is saying that there might be an expert that can help you find a way to do this, or maybe just gathering some information would help you overcome the obstacle. Again, Six of Cups, you're clearly overcoming the obstacle. And, I also kind of think that with these Six of Pentacles here, look, we go Six of Cups up this diagonal to the Six of Pentacles. I always say with the Six of Pentacles that is my prove it card from the universe, is the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles says you want to do something. You want to invest your energy into something, like a new relationship, a new business, maybe all of it, right? Or getting a new career. Six of Pentacles says prove it from the universe. Are you going to take the first step? Six of Pentacles is a card of planting seeds. And sometimes I think even if we don't have the resources to do something, if we take those first steps with the Six of Pentacles, then we find the success, plain and simple. The universe is like, okay, they want it. They proved it, right? Prove it right here. The Fool. Take the leap of faith and don't look back. You know, there's like a famous quote from, I think it's Tony Robbins or something, about burning your boats, where he says, if you want to take an island, burn your boats, meaning that if you want to conquer something, then you have to remove any possible excuse or any way that you could possibly fail. You have to make it so that failure is literally not an option. So that's what I would say here. It's like either death or success. And that might sound intense, but that's kind of like what I'm getting from your reading here. With the Six of Pentacles, you have this vision card. I feel like you need to hold your vision. I mean, this has come up for everyone. Like, I really feel that we need to kind of really be living and imagining things as we want them to be. And we need to like hold that vision and add emotion behind it. I literally just did a short about this because I think it's that important right now. It seems to me like the manifestation energy is kind of jacked up. And I always say that, I've been saying for like 5 years now that Neptune and Pisces is manifestation on steroids. And to me, you had Jupiter in the mix. Like we have Jupiter in Pisces right now. It's like times 1,000. So I would be practicing manifestation. The trick is, again, I think we need to have the image, the imagination, and then we also need to take the steps. Six of Pentacles, even if they're very, very small steps. With the Five of Pentacles, you have this bluff card. Again, are you going to call the universe's bluff? That's what it doesn't surprise me that this came up here. It's like, are you going to say to the universe, well, I really want something, so I'm going to take the steps anyway, even though I don't have what I want? Fool. You have the risk card. I think Cancer had this card in exactly the same position. I would take the risk. I would take the leap of faith to do something. And even if you feel like you're burning your boats, right, where it's like if you're not successful, maybe something bad will happen. Nothing bad is going to happen, by the way. I just want to stress that. But, I would take the risk is what this reading is saying. We're going to pull 3 cards now. I'm going to answer one question. If you don't have a question, that's fine, too. I'm going to just put all 3 together like a personalish reading. So 1, 2, 3. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think. For your question, I'm going to start reading the cards, so pause the video if you haven't already, if you need to think of a question. You have the Sun, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. A lot of success and happiness coming in for you. I feel like this is a yes to any question that I haven't answered. I also feel like some of you are wondering if you should communicate with a person. I would say yes. Four of Pentacles is basically saying if you don't, things are never going to change, which is always true. Plain and simple, right? People always ask me, even though I do not do personal readings, people always ask me in the comments, they're like, should I reach out to this person? I'm like, well, the answer is yes, automatically. It doesn't matter what they say. I don't care. Like, people are always like, I'm afraid of being hurt, blah, blah, blah. I'm always like, well, wait, you're just going to live in your head and just like wonder about it for the rest of your life? To me, that is torture. I'd rather ask a person out or tell a person I like them and have them be like, no, you're ugly, than sit around and wait all day long, right? So there are too many opportunities in this world. I think that's what we need to realize. And when we're kind of like putting all our chips down on one person like that, I'm not saying once you're committed, of course, invest in the person, duh. But, before that, it's like you're saying, this is the best I can do. And I always believe that I can do better. I believe that if you're here in the Minnow Pond, that you can do better. So, I would say take the risk for sure. For others, for all of you, I feel like there's a ton of happiness coming in for you and a victory. I definitely wouldn't be afraid to leave a comfort zone with that Four of Pentacles either. But pretty good reading here, Scorpio. I like where this is headed. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.